All right, here we go. Welcome to day 2 of the No Corona Zone. I am one of your hosts, Kente, all the way live from Los Angeles, California. Excuse me, because you're gonna hear an echo real quick. I hate that. Oh no, I did it right. Okay, cool. All right, so I want to introduce. I'm gonna just go straight to it. Introduce my panel. I have a great panel. We're gonna start off, of course, ladies first. The one and only.
The one and only. I forgot her name.
Only Jen. Jen from Hawaii. Is that how you say it? Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Wait, say it again.
Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay, I said it right. All right. A question I haven't asked you, and I'm gonna ask you this real quick. How long have you been in Hawaii?
Oh gosh, since I was a teenager.
Oh, I thought, you know what? Okay, I didn't realize.
Just a couple years.
I didn't realize that you've been there that long.
Yeah, I've been. I think I can consider myself a resident now.
Okay, all right, because that's my question was going to be like, do you consider yourself a Hawaiian?
No, I don't consider myself Hawaiian, but I do consider myself a permanent resident. I mean, like, I raised all 3 of my kids here, so.
Oh, so your kids are legit.
Oh man, my kids are super local.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Local or loco?
No, local, not local. Well, sometimes they're loco too. I mean, there is that. There are plenty of times when I'm pretty sure that they would qualify for that.
Hey man, it's okay. We can't all have same kids, right?
The people out here, if you're local, right? A lot of the people out here speak Pidgin, which is, kind of like a hybrid English. And my kids can speak it really well. That I wasn't born here because when I try to speak it, I sound ridiculous. So.
All right. A returning champ all the way from Staten Island, the site of the first purge. The one and only Dre. What's up, Dre?
What's going on, everybody? Good to be here.
Yes.
I've never been to Hawaii. I didn't know that the W was pronounced with a V. I had no clue.
Yeah, you can always tell when people are from here because they'll pronounce it just a little different.
Yeah, that's kind of. And you said that the language is Pidgin?
Well, I mean, it's Pidgin English. There's a lot of places that speak a kind of Pidgin. It's a hybrid English.
So how come English is Pidgin, but in every other language it's like Creole?
Yeah, good question. You know what? There's a linguistic real thing behind this, and I unfortunately just don't have the brain capacity to remember it all right now.
Yeah.
But when I first moved here, there's very specific ways that when the missionaries came here and all the people that were doing trading, the way that they taught English was a little strange anyway. And the people here sort of like hybridized language in the English language all by themselves. So it's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. We learning something tonight. Now this brother, this is the first time. Well, I guess this is everybody's first time on this particular program, but he's been on Indy Radio before, but he'll be new to a lot of you guys. I had the pleasure of meeting this brother when we both had a film in the Pan-African Film Festival, and realized how cool he was, and me and him have kept up over the years. It is Damien D. Smith. How you doing, Damien?
I'm doing well, brother. How y'all doing? Hey, everybody. Happy coronavirus. Hey.
That's money in the PayPal.
Donate to PayPal.
Money in the PayPal.
What happened? Donate to PayPal.
Yeah, right.
I missed it. Well, donate to PayPal. I had some technical difficulties.
Right.
What happened?
If anybody say all right, I'm gonna say for the purposes of this, if anyone slips and says coronavirus or COVID-19, they have to put 25 cents in a PayPal.
Okay. Hey, I hear it.
Within context, though, because if I say Marisol, you got an extra Corona I can drink, then I'm good. But if I was to say,
all
right, AD and Tasha in the Facebook chat, but it's all good.
Well, hey, yeah, nice meeting everybody. Happy to be here.
Now we're going to talk about this more, but on Thursday we have a special show we're going to do. It's going to be mainly on stream on Facebook, and I'll let you talk about it. We might as well go ahead and start off with that.
Start off with that? Okay, cool. It's called A Short Break. That's what it is, and it's a online short form platform that we're putting together over here at 4910 Rosalie production company. We're doing it. So what we want to do is in these times where we're all quarantined and we're all in the house, and hashtag stay home is for real because we're all here trying to save lives. We wanted to put together something that can showcase an audience that may be underserved. So I know that short film audience is it's strong, but I feel that we can use it but since we're all together now, we can use it to highlight some audience and highlight some people that might not get the looks that they should, or especially off this piece of work that they presented to us. So what we're going to do is, because it's called a short break. We're going to highlight a short film and a filmmaker. We're going to screen it at the same time. So what's going to happen is we're going to screen the short film in its totality, and then what's going to happen is that we're going to screen the film again, but we're going to put it in mute. And then at that time, that's when the audience has the option to ask any questions they want about how the film got made, what was the inspiration, what you shoot on, anything you want to know about this film, or anything the filmmaker want to add. That's what's that short break, and it only lasts the time period that your film lasts. So if you got an 8-minute short, then it'd be a short 8-minute commentary. 15-minute short, then a 15-minute commentary. So those are the options, and that's what a short break is. So we have something to do since we're all in the house, and some really great short films out there and some really interesting stories.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a lot of fun, and that's going to be on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. So, and it's going to be a thing that he's going to be doing in the future as well. So we're all excited about that. So, all right. So we'll get back to that as well. Let me see. I see. Oh, I see Finn on Facebook, as well as Norma D. And Sasha as well. You guys can come on over to Get Vocal, because that's where we all at in the chat. I have it pinned to the top, so the link, if you guys want to just come straight to there, because that's where the bulk of the audience is probably going to be at. And if you're on YouTube as well, you guys are here. So
it's pinned to the top.
Yeah, in the Facebook. It's for the Facebook, so it's where we're at right now. So there's people over here and some people on YouTube as well. So, all right. So tonight we're, like I said, it's No Corona Zone, and that's the name of the show. So no 25 cent. And yeah, what's up in the chat? And I want to talk about a lot of different stuff, right? And last night, our conversation, we went from talking about food. We talked about we had a conversation about possible cures for stuff. We talked about it was pretty wild. And you said that we talked about dogs?
Yeah, we talked about whether you date a guy that had a certain breed of dog, or were cat people better than dog people.
Right. Yeah. Can you judge a person by the kind of animal they have? Yeah, we talked about that as well. And rodents for pets. That's bananas.
Rodents for pets.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe though Dre might be okay with it because he's from New York. So
Oh, that's cool, man.
Are you okay with that? Because y'all have New Yorkers have a close relationship with rodents.
I don't do rodents. I don't do rodents. We have a black squirrel, 2 black squirrels roaming the neighborhood. Only 2 of them.
Freaky, man.
Black squirrels, pretty cool. I don't do rodents.
Okay, so one thing, so I like to have this conversation be real loose and jump the shark. So hey, Kiana's in the house too. What's up, Kiana? All right, so I want to talk about Ghost.
Oh, you said who?
Ghost, right?
Okay.
Like GOAGHOST.
Yes.
Patrick Swayze.
No, not the movie though. All right, so I'm not a believer. Yeah. Me personally. And I'm gonna tell you one reason. I've been in places that people swore was haunted. They swore it was haunted. I slept overnight in places. I never seen nothing. And a lot of this started, our fan is in the house. A lot of this started, okay, I'm gonna tell you, my grandmother stayed in our house the last months of her life. And she died. And I was a kid, right? And I moved into her, she died in the room she was staying in. So as a kid, I moved into that room like the next day. And all my friends were like, he's like, who's behind me? All my friends was like, oh man, you're gonna see like visions of her, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was kind of in my head, like, oh man, like this might happen, right? She died in 89, so I was like 12 years old. And so in my head, before I went to sleep that night, I'm thinking, is she? You know, well, I see her. Never had a moment, nothing, right? I've never had a spooky moment in my life. Your sheet is moving right now. Hilarious. I've never had it, right? And I'll give you another example. I was in Detroit a couple of years ago. And my a good friend of the family, I stayed at their house. They have a 4-story house. On the top story, they were like, no one stays in there. No one stays in that room because somebody died up in there or something like that. And like every time when the couple of people they've always seen stuff. I slept in there like a baby, nothing, right? They were shocked, like they take that serious, right? So I was on I had an expert come on to my show, who's like a ghost expert, and he told me that there's a reason why I never have. Hey, Mokuni in the chat. He told me there's a reason why I've never had an experience. And he said, based on my aura, ghosts don't like me. He said it was me. He said, whatever I have about me, they don't like it. That's why I never have any encounters. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like,
or is it a convenient thing?
Right. If that's true, right? If that is true, does that mean I suck as a human being, right?
Kinte, can we take it back just a little bit, brother?
Sure.
Did you say right after your grandma passed as a kid, you went the next day and stayed in that room?
Yep, I did.
That says a lot, right?
That's why ghosts don't like you. Ghosts like, this man has no respect.
You and ghosts,
you got no respect. Yeah, we don't like him.
The term some time ago. How y'all feel about each other?
I love my grandma, but I
hey man, you going to sit in that room like right after she died?
He said, "I am a ghost." That's what it is.
Yeah, right.
I love my grandma, but I man, the room, like I was in, like the room that I was in was not like the room I wanted to be in. So, what's up, Chris? See, Will. So I was I was sad. Obviously, my grandma passed. Right, I love her dearly, but part of me was happy to have my own room again, right, or have my own room. That was like the first time I had my own room, basically.
Yeah.
So I moved right in, but I didn't even think about it until friends were saying, "You're gonna see something, dude. You're gonna see something," and then I never saw nothing, and I've never had an experience. So most people I know, they said they've had experiences. So my question is, has anybody ever had an experience where they're like, "Oh, what's up, Jorge?" Has anyone ever had an experience where you think that, I'm telling you tonight, has anyone ever had a ghost experience? And press 1 in the chat if you have, press 2 if not. Dre, have you ever had an experience?
So I have. It was a really weird experience. So, and I'm still trying to think about it because I'm not sure if it was like my mind playing tricks on me or whatever. But my mother had just fixed the attic. I had to be about maybe 13, 14, maybe 15. I don't know. One of the ages. I forgot what age. She just fixed the attic to be my room and my brother's room. And the first night up there, as I was sleeping, I looked up and I saw this white figure, right? And it happened again the second night. But all I did was I looked up, it was there. I put the covers over my head and I went to sleep. Right. And after that, I never saw it again. And I never had any other experience with anything like that. Yeah, like, so I'm from the I have a different idea when it comes to stuff like that. I remember my grandmother passed away, right? And no, I didn't take her room. Bro, I would like that that's gonna be somebody else's room. But when my grandmother passed, people used to say, your grandmother will always look out for you. And I used to think to myself, man, that's messed up. She took care of me her whole life, and then she's gonna take care of me in the afterlife. Nah, I'm good. Like, let her live her afterlife with Jesus and be straight. Like, I don't want to put that burden on her to have to look after me. She already looked after me for 30 something years, and now she got to continue looking after me. No, I'm good. She did her job. Let her rest in peace. Like, she don't have to look after me anymore. She's good.
It's good, yeah.
So I don't really do the ghost thing. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, certain places like will give me like certain feelings, right? And I purposely make myself immersed in whatever it is. So let's say if I go downstairs to a basement and it's dark and it's creepy, I'm going to keep going, right? And I won't turn on any lights. I'm going to stand in the middle of a dark basement and let it known, like, I'm afraid right now, but the fear is about to dissipate.
I do the same thing. Yeah. Like, you embrace the creepiness.
Yeah.
Like, you let it come into your veins and you just like,
the
right.
Chills happen.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And then when it's done, it's done. And I never have to worry about that again.
All right.
So
what about you, Damien? Have you ever had any experiences?
Man, man, I'm weird. So I'll just start off by saying that as a kid, I used to see all type of stuff. While Brother Dre was talking, I was sitting just reflecting a little bit about being at home, and I was always the last person up. Like, I've always been a night owl. I've always been that person. So I was always out. I was always the last person up, and it would from a big family and family coming in and out of my grandma's house. I used to like hear and see and feel and all type of things, man. As a kid, I remember one time I was just seeing things in front of me just play out. And it wasn't like it was just ghost entities. It was just, different. I don't know what it was, honestly. I can't really give you an example of what it is. But it was, not example. I can't give you, answer for what it is. But yeah, I believe in all that, and I believe that I've seen several things and have been in tune with certain elements and stuff. And then when you guys when you and Dre were speaking about, like, you go into a space and you just let whatever entity or whatever space or whatever energy you like, I'm here, it's going to dissipate, then I'm just going to move forward from that point forward. That is a really, really brave. That I just wasn't going to go in. I just let that just be. I'm not going to go in there and tackle all that, man. I remember as a kid, like, I'm gonna let that go. You go in the basement of my grandma's house, and it used to be like, used to be a room like right to the left, and it was a basement. Sometimes it was finished, and then sometimes it wasn't. And it was always like a mildew, or so, it was something down. And I was like, it's just something about that. I just gonna stay away from that. It's just, I can
East Coast, East Coast basements be creepy though, like.
No,
Oh, St. Louis. Okay, well, West, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, like, they had a basement in that house. That was more creepier than that ghost room, where they had like laundry and stuff. So, what about you, Jen? Have you ever had any experiences?
I'm trying to think of something, and no, I don't not. Yeah, I hate using double negatives. I think there's a possibility that there's a good explanation for what people experience as ghosts. It tends to be a little bit more geeky than supernatural stuff running around. But no, I've seen really crazy things in the sky, but aliens and ghosts aren't the same. So I guess I gotta sit this one out.
Or maybe
Aliens.
ghosts are really aliens.
No, no.
So what?
Maybe-
See, I'm one of those
Can we get
people.
into just the not abnormal? What's it? Paranormal or
Paranormal.
beyond normal?
See,
Like,
I'm one of those
Activities.
I keep hoping that something will present itself to sort of like give me that experience that, I think one of the reasons I'm super into horror movies, right? I mean, like I've been watching horror movies since I was a little kid. And one of the reasons I think I'm so into them is because stuff doesn't usually scare me. But well, spiders scare me, so yeah, there's that. But all this other stuff, I don't, nothing like that has ever presented itself, and I keep thinking how cool it would be to, like, oh hey, I was walking in the woods and there was some crazy spirit thing happen. Nothing like that has ever happened. So maybe I'm like you could take, maybe my aura just naturally sort of like deflects them, and that's why.
Angela says I had a personal encounter with a demon possessed person. I think I have several because some of my exes, I think they were demon possessed. So so I feel you on that one. I think I've seen that. She said ignorant. I don't know. I think though, okay, you mentioned horror movies, and I think horror movies are really good date movies. Like
they're awesome date movies.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they make for great date movies. So
great date movie. So you're with your lady and you're leaving, and you hear a hot loud bang, and you jump looking to run, and she's like, "Yo, you a punk!" Like,
Are you watch the movie like this? Like you watch the movie like? Are you like?
That's one.
Can't watch.
There's two sets of rules. Now that's the rule. That's a set of rules when you watch the movie by a horror movie by yourself. You can allow yourself to, be taken back all the cracks. When you with your lady, you got to man up, man. Take it to the chin.
What's the last movie any of you guys saw that actually scared you?
That actually scared me?
Yeah, that like you actually were like, oh my god, that was genuinely scary.
No, I would say Paranormal Activity, the first one.
I mean, man,
anything based on a true story. Man, I told you, I said it yesterday. The last movie, I was like a kid, Willard, because I hate rodents. So that movie, it was more like I couldn't even look at the screen. Like I hate rodents,
God.
like for real. Like I don't even like them in cinema. That's how much I don't like rodents. Like I don't watch Ratatouille. I don't like Tom, or which one is he? Jerry? I can't remember.
Jerry from Tom.
Jerry, I always forget. Like Jerry is the mouse. Yeah, I don't like Mickey Mouse. I don't like none of them. Man, I'm for real, man. I don't like them. Now don't get it twisted. If say like if there was a mouse in the house, I'm not jumping on furniture and nothing like that. But, I ain't no punk, but I just don't like them. That's what I'll say. I don't like them. But
so we can't chase you around the house with a mouse.
No. But I'll say this though. So I think horror movies can be great date movies. Especially your lady gets scared and she buries her head in your chest, and that's
not gonna work for me.
Oh, so you're not gonna be scared?
I haven't seen. Okay, unless you're talking about like when I was a teenager, right? Up until that point, I don't think that I've seen anything that has been that scary that I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have trouble sleeping, or I don't want to turn around this corner, or whatever. I can't even remember the last time that a movie really scared me. Now, that doesn't mean that like I don't really appreciate the levels and the efforts that people go to be psychologically twisty in horror movies, and like I really appreciate that and love it. But I just can't think of any that have been like super scary. I'm waiting though. Somebody's got one out there that's going to be scary.
Have you seen I Saw the Devil?
No.
I don't know. Give me a synopsis.
I didn't see it either. But everyone I speak with, I haven't. It's on my list to check out.
So
but
neither of
everyone
us saw the devil.
would say, "Hey, once you see I saw the devil," you'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
The one in the elevator.
I think it's Mexican. I think it's Mexican. I think.
Is it the one with the two kids?
No. Oh, you may no. You talking about the one? No. I don't know which
that
one
was genuinely good. There's this one with the two kids where it was some kind of encounter with a devil, and that was actually really good too.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what though, devil movies, I guess, just because I grew up a Christian boy, and the devil, that's a good way in to possibly get me, but really it hasn't nothing got me though. So I don't play
Exorcist?
with the, I don't play with the I don't play with the devil though, for real though. Like in real life,
no Ouija boards.
I don't do none of that stuff. But I take the devil very serious.
I gotta say, I don't necessarily like believe anything too weird about it, but I also don't. I think I also sort of like from afar go, why would I chance that? Like nobody's gonna get me to hang out and play with a Ouija board because it's just not. Why take a chance? Why bother?
I don't watch demon or devil
it's just
or
not
devil
good.
movies. The last one I watched was Exorcist, and that was the TV version in 1980. Yeah, I mean, I can watch a devil movie, but they're not my favorite.
I don't think Candyman is good.
Yeah, I hope so too, because I like Candyman.
I was a kid. Candyman.
I think
Tony, they're remaking Candyman right now.
Young,
I think Tony Todd lives in this area because I've seen him at the grocery store a lot.
I don't know if I can see him. I've seen him and run.
Hey, you know what? It wasn't a horror, but you know who got me when I first saw it?
What?
When I saw little Snoop from The Wire and Banger. His name's Banger.
The Sweet Blood of Jesus.
From The Wire. Yeah, her. She was in Sweet Blood of Jesus as well. But when I first saw them, was during the Just Those Mixtape Awards, and we honored The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
I was producing the awards, and we honored The Wire at the ceremony, and they just popped up on me, popped up on me from the back, and I'm like, man, The Wire was popping.
Mm-hmm.
They go through metal detectors. That's who scared me when I first saw them.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so talking about dating, right? And I think a movie is a bad first date because you want to be in a situation where you can talk more. And I don't know. I just think a movie is not a good first date. So, Dre, what is a good first date to you?
No, yeah, definitely. I won't do movies on the first date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. And I've said this before, and I'm sure people on here already know it. A nice walk in the park where we can converse and talk to each other. No expectations, just having a good time, getting to know who the other person is. That's it. That's a perfect first date.
Okay, all right. What about you, Jen? What's a good first one for you?
I don't know, something exciting.
Exciting? Like what?
Zip lining. Skydiving, that'd be great.
On a first
Zip
date
lining would be awesome. Yeah, you never get to know somebody as well as you get to know them when their adrenaline is going.
You get to know me. You get to know I won't be getting out of any plane. You know that about me quick.
Something exciting, huh?
Yeah. How about cage diving with like sharks and stuff?
On a first date? Wow. Dang, you're very ambitious on your first date.
You're doing Hawaii.
I guess. Yeah, we're gonna go cage diving in Shark Tank. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Honestly, I'm just kidding.
What about you, David? What's a good one for you?
Good first date for me is that we something outside, kind of like what Dre was saying. I go outside, meet, hang out, grab some tea, grab some coffee. Let's do anything that's going to promote us being able to talk more and more and more, because I got to know if I like you to see if I want to go out and do more with you. So first date for me is a real introduction. I got to see if I actually like you and you actually like me.
Right. Are there anything that will? He said drive-in pretty good movie date.
The drive-in?
Yeah, that's what Olaf said. Yeah,
the drive-in. Truth.
Yeah,
the drive-in is dope.
Yeah. Okay, so what is like on that first date? What are some things besides like obvious that give you pause about a chick or about a guy too? We'll start with you, Damien. What's something that would give you pause about a girl?
Something that'll give me pause about a girl about contact.
Lack of eye contact. Okay.
Yeah, eye contact. Because that's it. I mean, that's outside the obvious, right? You smell, look, anything that hygiene and all that stuff. Eye contact is big with me to see, because if you can engage with me on all levels, eye contact is definitely part of it. To see if we can have a real conversation and really see if you just know, because this body language is very important to me. Like, I watch body language a lot, so. If your eye contact means a lot, because you're saying you can deal with anything head on.
Now,
initially in my mind.
Marty says, what if she's autistic and she pushes all those other buttons, but eye contact is a no-no?
Well, I mean, listen, I'm an optimist at heart. So when all those other buttons are pushed, hey, certain things will have to be left behind. That's just what it is. If you firing on 99%, hey man. I'm good. I'm good. So if we lacking on eye contact and everything is fine and perfect, we can go right in autistic system.
What about you, Jan? What's besides the obvious? What are some things that give you pause about a guy on a first date?
Boy, that's okay. So I know I've told this story before, but anybody that goes out on a first date that can't speak intelligently on a variety of topics. I'm not talking, I mean, I know people get nervous, right? So you don't hold that against people. But I mean, I have been on dates where people have mistaken Shakespeare for foreign food. I ask them what their favorite literature is, and they like quote a kid's book. I mean, things like that. No. Yeah, the dating pool out here needs a little chlorine.
You said green eggs and ham, my favorite book.
I wouldn't be surprised. No, I had one guy. I asked him what his favorite. Tell me what your favorite piece of classic literature is. Classic literature, and he said, The Hunger Games. And I was like, okay. There's so many things wrong with this. But you don't. I think personally that the way that you figure out whether somebody is like, yeah, you're pushing all my buttons that I don't like, you sort of know it like within the first 15 minutes. At least I do. You can't hide that stuff.
Oh, okay. But then what if they think they slick though, and you say, "What's your favorite piece of classic literature?" And then he's like, War and Peace. But you can be, he might be some shit. He ain't. I mean, come on, he probably.
Okay, listen. I have read War and Peace, and so if you really say that you've read War and Peace and you can't talk to me about who the main characters are, then maybe that's kind of a clue. But you know what? That's.
What if he said, "I love War and Peace"?
The right answer to what's your favorite piece of classic literature is, are you a writer? That's the right answer.
Okay. What if his favorite piece of classic literature is something popular, like
that's not classic literature. That's popular that's pop lit. That's a whole different genre. Classic literature is acceptable classic. You know what?
We don't like popular.
Would I don't have one be an acceptable answer?
Yes, that would be an acceptable answer, and also 2 points for being original. Super awesome.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely, the state can continue.
Is Dracula classical? Bram Stoker's Dracula classical literature?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
good.
Absolutely.
Can you believe my autistic
Now I know
son-
that's my go-to every time now. My medication says, so what's your favorite classic literature? Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh,
Yeah,
and that, and you know what? And that also makes you seem like you're a little bit edgy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that
Movie, so
ticks off a whole bunch of boxes.
there we
What
go.
if he says Interview with a Vampire? Does that count?
Oh no, no, I'm sorry. I love
I
Ned
didn't-
Rice like everybody else.
Tom Cruise,
No,
an
and right.
intricate part in that story is, great. It's trying to talk intelligently about that. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, you can't talk intelligently about Lestat. That's not. I
I don't
know.
know, man.
Oh, hey,
I
hey,
feel
don't-
bad
don't-
because I'm a reader, but I'm more of a reader like informational books, right?
Right.
Oh,
Like on a date, like I want her to talk intelligently about the MCU, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I want her to be able to say things like, Captain America and Bucky Barnes, their relationship is tumultuous and it's messed up how, him and Tony Stark got close, but then as soon as Bucky came back in, they became enemies and then became friends again, and they ruined the Avengers. And see, I want us to have conversations like that. But
so talking about Tony Stark's level of philanthropy to the rest of humankind, would that be a good topic? Because I'd love to have that conversation.
that would be.
See?
And we also have to go back to his Playboy attitude also somehow.
Yes.
The contrasting
Nerd dating 101.
about.
I mean, that's
So is this what nerds talk about on their dates?
yeah.
No, nerds talk about everything on the date. The thing is, that's what separates nerds, right? Nerds are not afraid to open up the Pandora's box of any topic.
Oh, bravo.
Bravo.
It's true.
Well said.
Us non-nerds, we have deep philosophical conversations.
Okay. Do you really think you're a nerd?
Hell yeah.
You are not.
Hell yeah. I'm not.
You are not.
I'm so.
I had a conversation
I'm a
with you
killer.
today.
I'm a killer.
Big nerd.
You're sitting in a gaming chair.
Yeah, hey, come on, man.
That my husband said he doesn't want to go on a first date to talk about classic anything. Eh? Me too. You know what I want to talk about on that first date? You definitely are a need. Oh, I think you've been a nerd. All right.
Wait. We gotta go back to this.
Okay.
Your topic. You gotta tell us now. What's your topic? What's your first topic?
My first topic on a date?
Yeah, what on a date? Yeah, you made all of us answer. You gotta answer.
No, that wasn't the question. The question was what's something that would
Oh, okay. Right. What something that would
Dre hadn't had his chance yet, but
still you get
that gives me pause.
Yeah.
That's what.
Lack of intelligence is a huge thing.
Can't say that's obvious, man.
Right. Not really though.
Not obvious. The first thing you told me was not obvious.
Okay.
Lack of it. Come on, somebody walking around in circles.
Look, man, for us guys, we'll throw some of that stuff out the window for a certain reason. So, okay, all right, I'll throw that out. Honestly, I like intellectual curiosity, and what I mean by that is, if you don't know, you want to know, and sometimes people don't have that, and that is. Oh God. So man, sorry about that. Wow. Sorry, but I just gotta man. Anyway, no, it was some bad news. But anyway, like I like people who, if you don't know, right, you want to know, you want to learn, that kind of stuff. When I smell that kind of stuff, is not a turn on. It is kind of a turn off.
So people that watch Discovery Channel?
No, you don't have to watch Discovery Channel to be intellectual curious. But,
I know. I'm just throwing some ideas out.
Right. So, but yeah.
So you like intellectual curiosity is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's big for me because I don't.
So is that what you would? I'm still waiting on the answer to the question. Is that what you avoid the things that turn off or that unsubtle turnoffs?
No, this is
Or
a red flag. It's a red flag.
Yeah.
A red flag. It gives you pause because remember that's the question. Does it give you?
Yeah. What?
Oh, you're on mute. If you're, are you talking to us?
Oh, Dre's on mute. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was see if I can expound on that, Kente, because
oh wow,
one of the that bother me is when like if I was on a first date and she's talking about something as if she knows a lot about it and she really don't, and and she just started off with details and information that is completely false as if it's real, like that's
right.
So I get what you're saying, like
right.
It's saying, no, I'm not really sure about that, but I would like to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
like, you know what I like, because I read a lot and I have a lot of information in my head, right? And I love it when I share something and then the next time I talk to her, she done researched it and she's like, oh my God, I da 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 da. And you know, I looked up that like that. I like that. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool. Like that she took the time to, you know, to find out for herself and all that kind of stuff. I think that's dope. So, you know, and it gives you pause. Does that mean you won't go the 100%? No, but it does give you pause, you know. So, but then again, though, sometimes what we do is when we get pause, he said, so I'm giving homework. No. Let's just be honest. I know I'm probably going to be the only one to be honest here. Sometimes you're on that date and someone gives you something and you slide them over one category to another category. Doesn't mean that they're off the picture, but then maybe you change the ultimate goal that you might have had.
All right, so can I make sure? I want to make sure. I'm going to repeat this back to make sure I'm correct. So you basically said, I have now placed you out of a potential mate to potentially somebody I can hang out with on occasions. Am I correct?
Right. I mean, when I was a young guy, not now. I don't do that now. But
no, we're talking about now. We're just talking about the designations that we place people after a certain evaluation period.
Right, where you go, okay, well, yeah, on the tap that category, yeah. I know I ain't the only one. Don't act like y'all innocent, but you know, you slide them from category A to category whatever you want to put.
Purpose of the whole going out and dating in the first place. I think a lot of people think that approach is a bad thing.
Right.
Actually, it's the natural thing. If I'm hanging out with somebody and I realize, yeah, we're not really great as a couple. We're cool. We could probably hang out, but this definitely isn't going to be a long-term, couple thing that's going to probably lead to marriage. We're cool. We could be friends. That's okay. And it's got to be okay. As mature adults, we have to accept that.
Right. I mean, how do you communicate that though? Like you went from possible boo to booty call, like, do you, do you communicate that?
It's levels of
you be like, at first I was really looking at being serious with you, but now I just want to hit. So I want to admit.
And the thing is, it can be like, well, why? Well, then, or the question is, do you want to say, I don't think we're intellectually compatible?
Right. Mm-hmm. But, sexually compatible, so, but, and women do it too. Women do it do it more than us. Let's be honest.
I once heard that, from a few, not once, actually from a few women, that a woman can meet a guy and know instantly if they would want to, share intimate moments with him.
Right. They know pretty pretty fast. That's why I always tell guys, don't do that whole creepy, I'm gonna be your friend, and then kind of linger around, hoping you get the draws eventually. That is so. And I don't know, have you ever dated, Damon? Have you ever dated a girl where you just knew one of her male friends was that guy?
Oh yeah,
you're like, I see you, homie.
Oh yeah. I knew. Because here's the thing, because I have friends that are girls, so I clearly, I mean, I'm a firm believer that we need to have, both sides of the fence, it just helps your mental health. It's friendships, right? But so I make it a point to let it be known up front with whoever my friends that are women, they're mated. So I let it be known. I let it all be clear as much as possible through actions. So you can tell the dude who's not, his intentions are not that. It's clear. They jump out, and then you just sit back. And now your biggest thing is that how are you going to engage with this person?
Right.
Because that's your real journey right there. How are you going to engage with this person? The first thing you have to do is neutralize this person to have any influence.
Right.
The thing is, you also have to figure out how you can move forward with your girlfriend who doesn't have a clue that this dude's intentions is to be friends until he can get that spot. Because that's an awkward spot for a man who is dating somebody or is in love with somebody in a relationship. And we know if our ladies' friends only want to be friends or not.
Right.
Women would fight it tooth and nail. No, he's just a friend. We've been friends for years. He's never tried anything. No, he's tried it. When he comes over, he's tried it when he is coming by and it's not even snowing all that much, and he's outside shoveling the snow, and it's only half an inch. He's trying. If he just
shoveling the snow and y'all live in LA,
I'm going to all change. Your best friend's trying. Like that's what he's doing. All right.
Right. I can't stand that guy either. I can't stand that dude. That's like one of the. I like the slimy guy that's up front better than I like that guy. To me, that guy's worse.
Yeah.
To be.
Other guy 100% totally worse because he's trying to steal your reality.
Right.
That guy's trying to steal your reality. He is a scumbag.
Yeah.
Another guy too is. Have you ever had this moment where you're dating a girl and you bump into a guy, and your girl is like, "Oh, this is my friend so and so." Right. And she's playing it off great. Like, oh, this is like my buddy. But you can look at him and you know that he's been there.
Kente, I was in a situation a while ago where I was falling for somebody, and we were in a relationship, and she had a friend. He would come by to shovel her snow and like crazy, like that like a boyfriend would do, right? And I never met him. And one day I went out of town, and she told me she was going to meet up with him. And I was told her, so that's okay. I don't have a problem with that because I'm really not that kind of insecure dude. I did tell her, just understand that if I was to do that, you can't get upset. If I was to meet up with a female friend while you happen to be out of town, just don't get upset because it has to work two ways.
Right.
So while she was telling me that and at that point, he knew sort of me, didn't know how serious it was. And she told him how serious it was, right? And that I had said, maybe we should all hang out. When she told him that, he said, I'm not really comfortable with that.
Wow.
Okay, was that a sign to her to let her know that, hey, this guy is interested?
No, because when she came back to me, she said, yeah, I understood what he was saying because he didn't want to feel like the third wheel. I said, first off, if he's your friend,
right,
he should be wanting to be like, if he's really your friend, I should be saying, hey, would you be my groomsman? And he should say, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, this is my sister. I love her like a sister, like a good friend. Yeah, absolutely. Not that. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with hanging out with you two.
Yeah.
So he tried to play it off and say, yeah, I understand his point. He didn't want to be the third wheel. I said, no. All right. He's pretty much telling you he's not comfortable seeing you with another man.
Right.
That's what he's saying.
What he really saying, yeah.
But
100%.
Yeah.
I had a guy that told an ex of mine, like we had been dating for a while. And I kind of knew when he found out that we were dating because we weren't letting anyone, a lot of folks know in New York. So I had a guy, once he found out, I knew he knew and all those type of things. And then, just, stereotypical, when we had gotten into a verbal altercation, me and my girl at the time, my ex. So we going back and forth, and she broke down and said, and even blank said that you should be taking care of home more. And then it is. I was even asking him, trying to get a male perspective, and even he said, "Hold on, here we go. Wait,
you just said it. Male perspective.
He said he told you that you should be home more." I couldn't wait to see that, brother. I know time into practicing. Hey man, don't confront things when you're emotional.
Right.
When you agree, when you're upset. So take it. And this is one of the times I saw a benchmark in myself where I was able to actually track my growth from who I was to who I am now. I was how I handled that situation. I waited about a good, week and a half, 2 weeks to talk to him. I mean, I had to talk to him, of course. Yeah. But I waited about 2 weeks, and we was at a coffee shop. It was all listen, it was so smooth.
Oh my God.
we were at a coffee shop. We were talking about some work because he was a buddy of mine too. We were all the same artist clique.
Okay.
I put up. I said, "Hey man, and we talking about this different work and everything." I said, "Hey man, such and such said, hey man, she said you told her that I need to be taking care of home more, and that I need to be at home more, and I need to be taking care of home more. Man, why would you tell her that about me? Like, I don't understand why you said that." Well, hey, because we were so much on a whole different topic. And how I threw it on.
I'm the.
He was shook. The whole time he thought we were having the time. I was plotting the whole time, waiting, couldn't wait to have this conversation with him.
You know what? Though? I'm gonna tell you something. That have you ever had a homeboy ask you for advice, and then tells his woman that you told him something that was kind of contrary to her, and so now when you see her, she's like looking at you crazy. I'm like, why would you say that? Like,
now you ain't invited.
Yeah, like why would you tell your woman that I said, that is so foul. Like, dude, like, and then you're not breaking up with her, so so now she giving me the stink eye every time I see her. Yeah, I don't know why some guys do that, man.
It's almost like listening to an alien language. To hear guys talk about women in this context, it is. I honestly am having trouble even keeping up with the conversation. It's so cool, but it's so alien because I guarantee you, women are not thinking like this.
Oh yeah. Okay, the scenario I just said. How are women thinking from that scenario?
I honestly, I think that a lot of times what men perceive as some kind of actual intent, women completely ignore. I mean, I'm trying to think in the same scenario, sort of what a woman would do, and I feel like she would just ignore it.
Is it like ignoring like the ignorant to it?
No.
Just ignore it.
Yeah, like innocuously just ignoring it. Like, well, okay, no big deal. Like it just doesn't seem to be as important. I know it's important to guys, and I'm not minimizing that. But I feel like to women, this is not a thing.
It's
what the friend, the guy friend overstepping bounds thing?
Because see,
I'm gonna tell you why, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. Because women are beneficiaries of it. Because it's that friend. Right, that they know is going to always be their friend.
Yeah,
but he wants more. She's going to keep receiving all the benefits of this guy wanting to be that boyfriend, and still keep him in that friend zone.
Do you have that? Do you have a friend like that? Are you married? I'm sorry, are you married?
No, I'm not. Not anymore.
Do you have a friend like that?
No, not really. But,
Yeah, you had one. You had one.
but I have. I have had. I've had that situation happen before, but it took somebody sort of calling it out for me to even realize what was happening. Because I never would have realized it. It was just completely, yeah, whatever. But also, I think this is why I think it's so funny, right? Because I think men assign a certain amount of importance to hierarchy in relationships, and I'm not saying that all women don't do that, because I think some women actually do exactly what you guys are talking about, but a lot of women don't assign hierarchy inside of a relationship. And so, although, I mean, you always have your, like, this is your primary partner, your husband, your boyfriend, whatever. Everybody else around, I don't think that women always assign like a pecking order. But I think that men do. It's kind of interesting. Actually.
I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly, right? So if you, my bad, Dre.
Well, I was going to say not necessarily a pecking order, right? What I found is older women, probably above the age of 35, 38, if they're single, right? They decompartmentalize their men in certain categories. All right. They have a friend who they can call in the middle of the night and cuddle with and know nothing's going to happen. They have a friend that if they have something broken down in their house, they can call that friend and say, hey, come over and fix it. And this friend likes them, but she also knows that nothing is going to go further than that. They got that friend that they can talk to and go out to eat and date, and she can vent everything out, and he's going to be listening to her and be that caring individual because he wants that spot. All right. And then she may also have that guy that she doesn't want a relationship with, but she may have an itch that needs scratching sometimes, and she can go to this guy. So I found that some, not all, but I know several women that are single above the age of 35 that have men that's decompartmentalized to certain areas to meet their need at a particular moment.
And she sleeps with the worst of them.
Yeah. The thing is, though, she won't sleep with all of them.
Right, she sleeps with the worst motherfucker.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that
That's
she.
Not very fair. That's not fair.
That is true.
That's not
The
fair.
worst guy is the guy that's getting it.
I wanted to ask you a question and I understand what you said. I want to ask you a question from another perspective. Like, it trips me out that you're saying that women don't sign like a hierarchy and when it comes to men, but it's absolute when it comes to women, when it comes to like the hierarchy, if you're looking at it on the opposite side of the situation. I mean, so much so when it comes to absolute, you only can feel like a lot of women only can feel that they only competition could be with the guy that they're dealing with is that person's mother. That's the only competition. Right. Above that, it's not even a conversation. Right. And even the mother should, acquiesce in some of these certain situations on how they feel, how I've witnessed certain things feel. So it's just interesting that there can be so many different, like, not paying attention, pecking order situations on this side, but you apply that same logic to how you guys look at it, how you good people look at it on the side of men. It's like it's like
ever be the Notebook Negro, and what is the guy that goes with her to see the Notebook. Or Magic Mike or some bullshit like that. Like, no, she probably doesn't respect you, bro. There's a reason why she ain't even giving you a hand job. So like, I'm like, don't even disrespect me by asking me to go with you to see the Notebook. So, no,
it is gendered. I mean, there is because women have a different. I mean, for sure, women have a different sense of all of this, right? It's just and they also have a different language for it, which I pick up on kind of often too, which is really cool actually. But for women definitely have a really different, like, a lot of women don't want their boyfriends or their husbands or whatever to have any friends that are women. Is zero, none. Like, hey, you can't be hanging around that person if I'm not there, because how do I know what's going to happen? Like that kind of stuff. First of all, that's really immature to me. But secondly, that I think some of this actually, now that I think about it, as far as being like gendered, yes, that's part of it. But I think also some of this is really cultural because depending upon how you were raised and what you believe a relationship is, you're going to have a totally different experience for all this stuff. And when you are raised in a culture that says, hey, this is how we experience things. This is the right way to do it. You're under a lot of pressure to maintain that,
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny too. That guy that takes her to go see The Notebook and all of that stuff, who tries so hard, and he does all that, and then he they spend all day together, and it's all wonderful and all of that stuff, and then she goes home, and then she calls that asshole over to handle that business. You know what I'm saying? And that guy who drives away whistling because he was in her presence for a night. That guy, he has no idea what's going on at her crib after he done dropped her off. So
yeah, see all of the stuff that you're saying right now. I'm right here, right? I totally honor it, and I get that is an experience that people have. But I gotta say, from the outside looking in at this, that just sounds so incredibly immature. To me, that is just like, it's the epitome of humans being stupid just to be stupid for the sake of what? And I don't get it. Like, sometimes I feel like this is what keeps me out of dating, or has kept me out of dating for a long time. I hate that kind of drama. I
don't like it either, but it is what it is. So.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm here to totally honor it. I get it. I find that this kind of drama is like, ew, why? Why would you even want it? Ugh, yuck.
Now there is a rule. I didn't make the rule, but basically the rule is, as a man, if you have to try to have sex with a woman within the first 3 dates. You have to try.
Really?
You have to at least try. If you don't, you get.
That's a rule that you should have.
Different way. You gotta. This is the way I say it. I've said this before.
Make sure you're not in the friend
zone.
Yeah,
right. Okay. I'll say this. This is how I say it. I've said this before on the show. You have to at least stick your hand in the cookie jar, if not to get it slapped. Right. And if you don't do it within the first 3 dates, at some point,
but that sounds like some Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein kind of stuff.
No, I think you gotta try. I didn't say you were molesting nobody. You gotta.
You just said it. It's the way you said it. Like, put your hand in a cookie jar.
I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're saying, Kente. I get it. You got it.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm
like to show, hey, I'm interested in you in this manner, and the way that a lot of our counterparts have been conditioned to receive that if someone's interested is a emotion, a overt act to show that, hey, this is what I'm interested in trying to do. So you won't be placed in a zone that's hard to get out of. Nobody wants to be, if this is not your intentions, you do not want to be locked in the friend zone. It was this movie that came out. I was just talking about this the other day. Maybe somebody can help me out. The movie is about this. Is a movie. It's an 80s movies. It was said about a dude who he went him and his homeboy, his high school crew. They went to a ski trip, but he stayed behind. But he got one of the dude. But the dude on the ski trip, he was like the popular dude around town. He got the best looking girl pregnant. And the dude who stayed behind and didn't go on a ski trip, like the winter break, he really always liked this girl. He did everything he can to get her an abortion. Like, he stole money. He was delivering pizzas. He's delivering pizzas during the summer. He stole money from his job, got caught. Dude was like, what you gotta steal from me? He's like, yo, some things going on. He said, hey man, take the money. I hope it's worth it. You know what this represents. He sacrificed everything for this woman so she can get this abortion, so she don't throw her life away. She got the abortion. After summer break is over, after winter break is over, where everybody come back looking cool. He thought he was gonna be with the girl, but we all know how that ends.
Well, I gotta find out what this movie is.
I forgot the name of it, but that movie taught me a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
What did it teach you? Tell me what it taught you.
First, let me tell you what it did for me as a kid.
Okay.
It conditioned me to be just that little bit of asshole as a kid. My immature way of processing what I just saw taught me that the good guy always get walked past and trampled over. And I remember, and in my life, it was happening because I was a cool guy. I was being nice, super respectful. I thought what super respectful was, and was always talking to her all the way on the phone all night and following her home, walking her home. And my homie from down the street was doing all the stuff I wanted to do. So I learned that the nice guy, they're not a lot of at that age was not looking for the nice guy.
Nice guys finish last and they get no.
That's super.
So you got to be a little bit of an a-hole.
That's the rule of life. Nice guys finish last and they get no ass. So this is when nice guys are in. When she get like 45 and up and she's been through a bunch of assholes, then she's like, you know what? That nice guy looking.
I mean, are you guys all wanting to go out and date 20-year-olds? Is that where this conversation is?
You don't want to wait till you're 50, though.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like 20-year-olds and 20-year-olds they do their own thing.
No, 1 second. Wait, hey, I was talking about when I was like 7 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I was a kid. I just said I was a kid. That's right, but I did learn though. You learn, and then people dealt with those ramifications until I learned something else. Yeah. When I learned that it ain't the part about being an asshole. It's the part about being assertive.
Right.
Being assertive, being clear. Those were the attributes that they were seeing at the time that I didn't recognize. That I thought that I was doing, but I was misrepresenting them. But the dude who didn't give a shit, he had those attributes, but they were misinterpreting them as someone who's assertive, who knew what he wanted or that, but they were misinterpreting. So we both were living in a place that was, unsure because we wasn't developed at the time. So you said developed. That's all.
No, yeah, I get what you said.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just addressing what she said. Do we want to date 20-year-olds?
Yeah, I know.
What's up? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't making that like. I think what I'm trying to say though is like, so there's a huge difference, and that was part of what I was saying before, right? There's a huge difference between sort of when you are talking about people that have any level of maturity, and when you are talking about people, especially in relationships where it's just kind of like you're just starting out, you're just trying to figure it out. And between the ages of 20 and 30 or even above, it's hard because you don't have any basis for figuring all this stuff out. And I feel like that's where a whole lot of that drama comes from, because you got to try to figure it out. You have to be able to experience a bunch of stuff in order to get a bunch of information back in. But after you have reached that age, that's why it gets really confusing for me anyway, when I start hearing people talk about relationships that like 20-year-olds have, not that people above 30 have or even above 40 have. It's just a confusing situation because it's just not the same.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You don't? You really have the same relationship?
I wish that this pumpkin patch we live in, where everybody acts like adults who are adults, where is that place at? Because a lot of people who are supposed to be adults, and you can't say, oh, it's just the people you mess with, because we're talking about like everybody. A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people, they don't always act like that. And you don't always know that they're acting like that until maybe it's too late. So unless you keep your or keep your head on it.
But isn't that part of dating? Isn't that like, you're supposed to screen people out when you're dating? That's like part of how you get that information, right?
That's how you slide them over to that next box. Yeah.
Next.
I have a great question for Dre. And Dre, you have 3 sons, right? The oldest is 21?
22.
22, and the youngest is
12. And the middle is what? 18.
You're a good dude, right? You're a good dude. You've dated, you've been there, you've been where they're at right now, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that they're just now experiencing, right?
Mhm.
And you're a good dude. You want to raise them as good men who treat women with respect and dignity, right?
Yeah.
But then there's another part of it where you don't want them to get used and abused and that kind of thing. So how do you balance like teaching them to be respectful, but also how you teach these young men to not be a sucker?
So it's pretty much at their age.
Mhm.
I don't want them to expect anything from anybody, and I don't want them to have anybody expect anything from them. They're too young for that and
Right.
not ready for that. So that will help them if they're able to do that. It will help them from, and that's anybody. That's anybody in any dating. Don't expect too much from the person that you're getting to know, and don't allow them to expect too much from you in the very beginning. All right,
Mhm.
this is preliminary.
That's good advice.
Let's just be friends, let's hang out, no expectations. So I try to teach my sons that. My oldest son, he didn't get it. Like, his heart was broken over and over and over again because of that. But I think that's how people are able to maintain their, what's the word I'm looking for? Their not embarrassment. What's that word I'm looking for?
Dignity.
That's the word.
Mhm.
In that process, because you can fall for somebody faster than they fall for you. That's not the bad thing, because if it's progressing in that direction and you're moving faster, at least you're moving in the same direction.
Mm.
It's when you're trying to run in that direction, they've completely stopped or gone in the opposite direction, which is going to cause you to have severe heartbreak.
Do you remember your first son to get his heart broken? The first instance of getting their heart broken?
Is this being recorded?
It is, but you can, use code words.
I can't share.
You don't have to. But
it was bad. Right? And I remember I did tell him, and I got into like really severe like dad mode. Like, I said, don't you ever let any female make you feel this way again.
Right? You know, it's funny because I've had that exact conversation with my girls. Exact conversation. Don't you ever let any man make you feel like you are less than who you are, that you absolutely are, that your worth is not tied up in another human being. That's a parent conversation.
Yeah. Amen to that for sure. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like me and Damien, we not there as far as having to give those speeches to our children, but I don't know if you were an uncle. I'm an uncle, so I know it's not the same, but I've had to talk to my nephews about stuff like that. And there is a certain part though, because you reminisce about stuff that at the time was like everything. Whatever happened with this young lady, you was just like, it was everything in that moment. And then you look back how you may have felt in that moment, like it was the end of the world, maybe even. And then now you look back on it and you kind of, it's kind of funny now, like when you think back, like I was, I let that be so big of a deal. But at the moment it was a big deal. So, and sometimes it's hard to convey that, like, yeah, it sucks now, but trust me, bro, you're going to be fine. The sun's going
to, the last thing that you want to do when somebody is suffering for any reason is try to minimize it or say, oh, dude, don't worry, you'll go through worse, or, this is not, because to somebody who's experiencing that kind of heartache, there's nothing more totally soul involving than whatever it is that you're going through right at that moment.
Yeah. Because in that moment, you're like, man, oh my God,
Yeah, it feels like it's gonna rip your life apart.
And then as a dude, you have this thing where you can't show, that it's eating at you or whatever. You gotta, it's only a flesh wound, You're literally shot in the heart, but you gotta, nope, just a little scrape, ain't a big deal, so you don't want to be overly emotional as well. But it is what it is. All right, now I have this question too, and I'm gonna pose it one way, and then I'm gonna change it around. I'm gonna start with the guys, and then I'm gonna start with the guys, and then eventually I'm gonna get to you, Jen. Okay, so you're dating a chick, Damien. You're dating a woman. You've been together for a little bit.
Okay.
And she's in the bathroom and she happens to leave her phone in the living room and you're there. The phone rings. Would you answer it? No? What about you, Dre?
So if somebody who calls?
Somebody calls and let's say she's not there. Would you ever answer your woman's phone?
Well, yeah. I mean, and if she's my wife, she's
like your girlfriend. You've been together for a while. No. Okay. Now I'm gonna flip it. How would you feel if your woman answered your cell phone? Now I'm not saying you're up to nothing bad, but she in the same situation, she answers your phone.
Again, it's about what's good for me would be good for her. If she would get upset with me for answering her phone, and she's going to answer my phone, then I'll take issue with it. But if she answers my phone, then at that point she's giving me permission. She just established that next level of the relationship. Okay, so now we're answering each other's phones. Got it.
Okay. How would you feel if your lady answers your cell phone?
Oh no, don't do it. Your phone, you don't answer mine. It's clearly not because it's clearly not for you. I ain't even trying to say it in any type of way. It's not for you. So as we know 100%, the person that's calling is not calling to talk to you. No matter who it is.
And she's like, "Oh, I didn't want you to lose the call, so I answered it for you."
Yeah, voicemails, text message, all type of stuff is set up to for situations like this. It doesn't require a human response.
Right. That's how I feel too. What about you, Jen? Can your man answer your cell phone?
They're going to take the bill collector calls, sure.
Oh, if he pays the bill?
He doesn't have to pay the bills. Just talk to the bill collector. Say, "Oh, sorry, not available. Nothing I can do." Actually, I personally, that's kind of like one of those boundary issues that I think you have to discuss like way at the beginning. Like, this is off limits. This is whatever. But for the most part, I don't really remember having too much of an issue with it. I think because, at some point, because your phone is like so incredibly personal with like all your information on it, unless you really trust the person, like really trust them, that's a lot of trust to give somebody. I mean, that I can see why people wouldn't want to answer your phone, or why you wouldn't want somebody to answer your phone.
I mean, does anybody like in the beginning of the relationship say, "Okay, now sit down, sweetie. If my phone ring, don't you answer it." Like, I don't think
I've never had that conversation.
Right?
I don't think you need to say it like that.
Don't you touch this?
I think you just need to put a passcode on your phone, and then you don't give it to people.
I refuse to put a passcode.
You know what I don't like though.
Yeah, I have one on here, but it's on. Yeah, I have one on here, but it's only for like I cycle a lot, so I don't do pocket dials. I mean, it's nothing that I keep secret. People, know my path. I mean, it's not. If you're gonna whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find it.
Well, right. I have credit cards on my phone. I have Apple Pay on my phone. Like, I don't want anybody getting into my phone.
You know what I think?
Yeah, I mean, if I lose it, it's a passcode on there, right. But it ain't. If you go through a phone, you're looking to whatever, because you're gonna misinterpret whatever you want.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's one of the worst arguments, though. One of the arguments I hate that people use, and it's not even just in relationships, is if you got nothing to hide. I hate that as an argument because it isn't, to me, it's not about you got something to hide. It is like that is like your kind of like your personal space, right?
Right.
Especially we're not married, but even if we're married too, I don't know if would I answer my wife's cell phone?
There's certain situations and circumstances where you phone, hey, grab the phone, answer it. It's Chris, answers your cousin. Whatever the situation is, it's always exceptions to every rule, but generally, I don't see what the reason could be.
Right. Yeah, I don't either. But there's people who feel like there's this whole but it's true, but there's nothing between. If there's nothing between you and that person, then it shouldn't be an issue. See, I actually had this conversation with Madi, and she believes that she should be able to answer her man's phone and vice versa. And to be honest with you, I don't know, man. Like, there's this whole thing that there's people who believe that if we're in a relationship, everything should be open. Like, I should be able to be in your emails. I should be able to that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. Like, I feel like you got to have something like, and I'm saying not to be shady or anything like that, but I don't believe in that. Like, I don't want to be in my lady's emails or answer her cell phone. I don't have no desire to do nothing like that. But I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want that either, though. And then, like you said, the misinterpretation and just to me, that's kind of creepy, though, to be in your significant other's personal stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, they say if you really love somebody, then they can have the passcode to everything.
I feel like you should sort of kind of almost equate this to, like, would you go digging through somebody else's purse? Would you, like, grab somebody else's wallet and go through it? That's what it feels like to me. Like, there are certain things that people consider to be their own personal space. And that, I think, your phone now is one of them. Because if we were to have asked this question 20 years ago, everybody was still dealing with landlines, right? So answering the phone in your house, in any house, that's a communal thing. It's only, mostly recently that technology has provided us with another personal space. And what you were saying before about not going through having the discussion about, hey, my phone is off limits. I totally get that you don't have those conversations, but maybe we could eliminate a whole lot of drama if we actually did. I mean, if you said, you just have to say, look, my phone is my phone. It's mine. This is my own personal space. I don't like people going through it. End of story. If you were just clear about it up front, you'd get rid of so much junk.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I agree with that. I agree with that point. But I'm of the mindset is, if I got to have a conversation with you about going through my phone, we ain't meant to be together in the first place.
Yeah, there's that too.
You have two, and there's nothing wrong with your point of view either. The point, not you, I'm talking about the person's point of view. Yeah. Because you just need to be with someone that's more, yoked like you. That's how I try to look at type of things. Like, it's nothing wrong with it. I get it. It's just that we ain't meant to be together, or we ain't meant to. Yeah, because I'm not. We got to have that conversation. I don't think there's several other signs that's clear.
Yeah, it's funny. Patricia says it's funny how everybody has their own phone number and a sense of privacy. It's kind of strange new world for us old folks who used to share the family phone. And Madi says that's the problem with though. That's the problem though. People can't be upfront with others. And then Olaf says it's just a common courtesy not to touch the phone. And yeah, hey, Sybil just came into the chat. I'm not with it. I feel like you do need to have your own little privacy and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, why even have a desire to go through your mate's phone or whatever? I know this is another. I had this conversation once with a girl that I was dating like a long time ago, and she was saying that she believes that when you become a couple, you should only have a joint account. That you shouldn't have a personal account. No. And I thought, who thinks like that? Like, that gave me pause, by the way. That gave me pause.
It tells you something in his business.
Like only a joint account? That's bizarre.
No, uh-uh.
Very.
That is so red flag.
But
that would
surprisingly, a lot of people have that idea too. Like we should just put all of our money in the pot, and that's how it should be. I'm like, nah, I gotta have my own account. I mean, I believe in a joint account, but I gotta have my own account. You gotta have access to your own.
You know what I think this kind of brings up a little bit? It brings up this idea. It's such a complicated thing, but it brings up the idea of at what point in the relationship do you sort of like put everything together to be one as a couple, because it makes it much harder for you to just pick up and leave out of the situation. I mean, not that my divorce was any different from anybody else's divorce, but when I went through my divorce, my ex-husband he signed stuff that he shouldn't have signed and ended up getting money that he wasn't allowed to get. He helped himself to my 401k. He took all the money out of our joint account. He, did all kinds of crazy stuff that was it was beyond the pale of sort of, what you would even do in a breakup, but it was so easy for him to do because all of our stuff was all together. So there is a hard part. There's a hard piece of this, which is at what point do you really trust somebody to share everything when it is super easy to just divest yourself of everything too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, when there's a big difference in income too, I can see, like, if you was dating Oprah, of course, yeah, we always should have a joint account, Oprah. Yeah, I'm putting my few shekels into the pot. If there's like a big difference in income too, I can see where there could be an issue there too. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like communication, you got to really communicate that stuff. And you got to ask a lot of questions early on, because you don't want to find, so many people find out after they're married to somebody who the person really is. And it's like, dang, you didn't know they was that crazy? Like, what were y'all talking about before y'all got married, like, oh my God, there's so many people that find out.
What do you mean? Do you mean if they find out that the other person's irresponsible, or they find out that the other person doesn't have any
their worldview on things like finance, religion, sometimes and stuff? One of my favorite stories. Now, this was this woman, this sister, had like 3 kids. She was in her late 30s, just really wanting to get married, right? And she finally met this brother, no kids, handsome dude, makes good money, and he was I guess a really good pickup, right? They hook up, they start dating, and then he proposed to her, right? What she had been waiting for, because she really wanted to get married, right? So they're planning the wedding and everything, and a couple of weeks before the wedding, he says, "There's something I gotta tell you," and I shit you not, I'm not making this up. He sits her down and he tells her that these are black people. These are 2 black people. He says, "I'm a vampire." I shit you not. This is a true story. This dude says he's a vampire. He's in the vampire religion, and that he drinks blood. And this is real. This is like legit real to him. And he said that if they have any more kids, he wants to raise, his kids in the vampire religion.
I got so many questions.
So this sister was so, like, she was upset at first because she's like a devout Christian, right? She actually said, I can work with that.
Wow.
So, and I was clowning too, because she's actually the cousin of a close friend of mine, and I was making fun of him. I was calling him Nosferatu. I was like, when is her and Nosferatu getting married? But you know what? Unfortunately, they didn't end up married because not only was he a vampire, he was a cheating bastard. So,
oh, I swear to God, I half thought you were gonna say she liked too much garlic.
right. So I was like, he was legit in this religion and everything, and he showed her everything and all the literature.
Yeah, what did he show? Did he show like a membership card, or is it a
membership card?
a button?
I guess they have a Bible or something like that. Because I was like,
the Book of Lilith.
I was like,
it's called the Book of Lilith. Their Bible.
Is that what it's called? Okay, I was like, wow. But it was funny though. She was gonna marry a vampire, but he can't be a cheating vampire though.
That's where the line is drawn.
I saw Buffy. Was he allowed to go into people's house?
Apparently. Why didn't he try to marry one of his fellow vampires?
Back like Eddie Murphy.
Anyway,
he had a short hair cut. He had like kind of a military cut almost. But yeah, he was. I should have picked up on it. He was a little strange, but
good question, Dr. Tachi.
Yeah. So, ladies in the chat room, if you're dating a guy and he comes out that he's a vampire, is that a deal breaker? Prep 1 for yes, it's a deal breaker, and 2 for no.
So instead of coming out of the closet, he comes out of the coffin.
Right.
It's like coming out of the coffin day.
Oh my God. And don't be surprised if that finds its way into one of my screenplays too, by the way, because Maya is okay. You'll date a vampire, Maya. Oh, see, that's very I think she put the wrong. I have to believe Maya put the wrong one. Wait, no, yeah, yes, you would date. Actually, no, wait. I think I said it backwards. But anyway, I get what they're saying.
I heard they're good lovers.
Oh, I heard they're good lovers. Oh shit. Okay, so she's
man.
Hilarious. I like to be bitten, not taking my blood out though. So yeah. I'm telling you, this friend of mine, as a writer, I get so many great ideas for stories from her. Her life is just the craziest. Not her and everybody around her, I swear. I could literally write screenplays for the rest of my life just based on this chick's life. I mean, this stuff I can't even say right now on the air because it's too crazy. And it's all true. That's what's so bizarre. And here's the funny thing is she's telling me the story, right? About her cousin. And it's not even weird to her. She's just like, she's just telling me matter of fact, like that's what it is. I'm like, you just told me the guy's a vampire. Like that's not normal. That's some weird shit right there. Yeah, that's bizarre. No,
like reverence and shit.
Yeah, they apparently. I didn't know that it was like a religion though. I was like,
there's a pastor called Count.
Count. I don't know. I didn't go to that church.
Okay, so where do you draw the line, right? You're willing to date a vampire. What else are you willing to date at that point?
I guess she's open to werewolves and ghouls and gremlins.
I mean,
zombie apocalypse.
Right. He's probably enjoying this right now. He's
probably not, because if he bites somebody,
he was the real Count Chocula.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You know what I thought this was going though when
I'm glad you. Yeah, I think we're thinking the same thing.
Right. I thought the same thing. I thought, oh, this dude's gay. No, he's a vampire. He's a straight vampire. So yeah, but
okay, so that's already unrealistic, right? Because I think all vampires are actually pansexual. So he's probably lying anyway.
Who knows? You know what? Maybe we assumed he was straight. Who knows what else he's dibbling dabbling in?
Right.
Yeah.
Does he shimmer and shine when the sun hits him?
That's not a vampire.
Common clan with vampires, and they shine in the sun.
Like, what do you say to your homegirl though? Like, do you allow your homegirl to marry a vampire? Like, do you like? I know you don't want to be in people's business, but is there a line where you're like, I can't let you do this? Like, I'm sorry, I know you grown, but I gotta do this. Like, you know, but like that's the funny thing though. That wasn't the worst thing about him.
Yeah.
It was that he was a vampire. It was that he cheated. Like,
And
that was the story. The story was not that he was a vampire. It was that he cheated on her.
When you said she was a devout Christian,
Right.
and she decided to date a vampire knowingly, I mean,
right. Married.
All logic, up is down, left is right. You know, I mean, that's where we at this point.
He was type no.
Well, you know, she could totally marry a vampire, but you know, she'd probably draw the line at a possessed person.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
What is he possessed with though? Like the spirit of Rick James? I mean, like what are we talking about? What is he what is he possessed with? The devil?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, hey, you know, there could be maybe some people go out there and look for someone that's possessed by someone else, because then you actually have the opportunity to date one person, right? Have the exorcism, and then you might get a totally different person on the other side. So it's like a 2 for 1.
But okay, maybe not marry a vampire though, Damien though.
Maybe not marry them.
Yeah, interesting story though to have, like, you know, one of my exes.
Would I knowingly hang out with a vampire lady?
Right, you know.
Yes.
Be like, well, you know.
Yes is the answer to all
weird,
that.
But
I lived in New York for 12 years, man. People are into all type of crazy things.
Right.
You know. Right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You probably have a vampire too.
I used to hang out with the Wiccan.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, a couple of Wiccans, yeah.
At some point, don't you question people's mental health? I mean, like, all kidding aside, don't you actually really think, oh my God, these people are legitimately crazy?
Oh my God. Have you seen those not dog, but the horse people?
No.
The people, they're called pony play. It's these.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it's so bizarre, and it's people who are funny. People who like to dress up as horses and have sexual experiences with each other. It's the bizarre. It's like, how do you even get started in that? Like, that is so bizarre.
That's a crazy fantasy, because never mind. I can't even go there with it. It
has something to do with sexual repression, and then just kind of goes on from there.
But it is, yeah. They just horsing around, hilarious. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, people, man, they into some strange stuff. Yeah, it's funny though. You be thinking you freaky until you meet some real freaks. You're like, oh no, I'm just regular compared to these cats.
Just regular.
Yeah, I'm regular degular. I ain't that crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, there are many levels of crazy in the crazy circles, as they are.
Yeah, I'm just a normal everyday cat. So, all right. So, just so to let people know, on Thursday we're doing something different. This brother Damien is going to share with us his great short film. Once again, kind of tell us about what's going to happen Thursday.
Thursday, Short Break is a short platform that highlights independent short film. Well, highlights short films and filmmakers. What we're going to do is have a filmmaker and a short film running at the same time. We all want to come together, watch the short film with the filmmaker, and then after the short film goes off, we're going to start the short film again. We're going to put it on mute, and we're going to allow the audience to ask any question he or she would like to the filmmaker. I'm talking about what was your inspiration, what was what cameras you shoot on, locations, whatever can come to mind. One of the reasons I'm doing this is because, one, we're all quarantined. I want to support the stay home movement and try to find things over here at 49. We want to try to find things to engage folks to, be able to take just a little relief. And then every short film has a story. Because most short films are made out of passion, made out of love. Those are where people are really throwing their heart for whatever reasons they're doing it. They're putting their all into these, or they're trying something that out of their comfort zone. So we want to highlight these films and let's tell the story of this short film. And once you hear some of these journeys are really interesting and engaging, especially in times like this where we might need some inspirations. You know.
I don't think I've told this story on here, but the way that I met Damien, and which movie are we showing on? Is it about that?
Showing Daddy's Big Girl.
Oh, Daddy's Big Girl, great one.
I love that one.
Oh yeah, you saw it because
Yeah.
remember we interviewed him. Yeah.
Love
Okay,
that.
so this is how I met Damien. How long has it been? Like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, man, it's been a minute now, bro.
Okay, so me and Miosha had a movie in the Pan African Film Festival, and so we felt very confident about our movie. It was a good movie, and they put you in different groups, right? And it's like 6 films in each group. So we're pretty cocky about we got our shit is pretty good, and we don't know the people that are in it, right? So the first film is shown, and it was whack, right? So I'm gonna just keep it 100. It was whack. So me and Miel just kind of looking at each other like, oh yeah, okay, we got this, we good. And then the next movie came in, and this is a movie called Finding Her Light by Jamie Patton.
Straight shout outs to Jamie.
Oh my God, this was dope. Like this film was amazing. And like I would say a little bit into it, me and Miosha looked at each other like, oh shit. Right? So we're like, oh my God, okay, all right. So the next movie comes up, and it's this brother's movie about that. And actually, Jamie Patton, the director from Finding Her Light, is actually in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're watching this movie, and we're like, oh my God, this is really good. Like, we're sitting there looking at each other like, oh shit. And his movie is amazing, right? Got a great response because it's a very good movie. And and it's shot really good, and it's all black cast, and it's shot like awesome, right? And we're just sitting there because we're both movie geeks. So
Cinephiles.
So cinephiles, there you go. And so we're like bugging out by the cinematography of both of those films and the way that it's shot and everything. So we're just sitting there like, wow, right? It was very inspiring. And then, if I remember correctly, there might have been one other good movie besides, yours and Jamie's. And then the last film had like the biggest budget, and it kind of had a mini star in it, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
It wasn't that good. So, so afterwards, they have us all come out and we talk about our movies and stuff like that. And me and Miosha was such big fans of watching Damien and Jamie's movie that we were just like, hey, we got their information. It's like, I have a podcast, come on the show. He came on. Jamie came on too on another show. And it was, and after that, me and him kept in touch, and we're gonna do something together pretty soon. So once this, this ends, I have a great idea that he knows about, and I have actually 2 really cool. Actually, one of it has to be shot on a desolate street at night.
Well, I mean,
right? I'm like, maybe this is a good, but
this is the time for the indie filmmaker. Hey, and I want to. Hey, can I say something real quick, Quinte? Man, I really appreciate you, brother, because whenever I'm trying to figure some stuff out. Like, I didn't know how to actually. I knew I had a vision. I knew I wanted to do. I knew the ways of implementation and execution when it came to like marketing and putting everything. But I needed to. What was the engineering aspects to making this happen, and I knew I had an open line to have a conversation with a good brother about it. I knew Kente was the person I could turn to, and he was going to, give me the information unfiltered, straight up, and like, here we go, brother. And then not only is he helping me out and gave me what I need to do, he said, hey man, how about we do the first one on the platform? What else? Let's partner up and make this happen, and we can, help usher you into this world of getting things going, man. And I really appreciate the lookout and the cosign. So this brother's good people, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? I just want us all to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take joy in other people that I know success, and even people I don't know. So that brings joy to me. So I'm just that way. I don't know. I've never understood how people get intimidated or they feel some kind of way when they see somebody they know doing well. It's like, I like to see people do well. Like, it really gives me joy. It gives me inspiration for whatever I'm doing as well. So that's why I like I said, I try to do my best to help everybody, and and it makes it easy. So, and we have a good community here as well.
Yes, I actually want to answer Anthony Davis's question. Damien, have you put your short in any of? All right, so this particular short, Daddy's Big Girl, that we'll be screening on for our inaugural a short break, is it won the Gentleman Jack Daniels Filmmaker of the Year award. So we won the Gentleman Jack Daniels Reel to Reel Filmmaker of the Year award. So I won with this film. And this, I got to say, from that, that journey was great. Partnering with Jack Daniels and being an ambassador for them, for the program, has been an amazing experience. It's been really cool. They've been supportive all the way with not only that short film that we're won with, but also other projects that I've had in the future. So I appreciate everything Jack Daniels is doing with that. And also, I'm a huge Jack Daniels drinker, so that works out as well. So I hope that answers your question, Anthony. Not only Daddy's Big Girl has been in film festivals, but all the rest of my shorts have been in film festivals and have we have won a couple awards and has been received very well.
And I'm drinking Bacardi today only because these suckers cleared out my Jack Daniels. So, so I was out of Jack Daniels, but yeah, I like it too. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to Thursday. It's gonna be dope, and hopefully everybody comes out, supports, asks questions, and all of that. And and because it's a really good movie, I think you guys will really enjoy it. So,
tell a friend. Hey, tell your friends. Please share it out. It's on my social media. It's on my Facebook and my Instagram. Share it out. We're trying to get as many people as we can to watch this short film because the response, you know how it is. That's why I chose my work first as a sacrificial lamb. The first one is always that people want to test the response. But if we get a good showing, we'll get other people who are, that are open to have their short films and want to be a part of this experience. And I believe that this going to, provide us with some, escapism right now. We all have these walls that we're pretty much should be trapped in. Let's use this as some escapism and enjoy ourselves,
And let me say something about Damien. If you follow this guy on Instagram, if you can put it in the chat room, this dude, especially the last couple of years, has been living it up. I swear, every time I see this guy, he's like I swear he was like in Dubai, he was in Turkey, he was in I think he was in Bangladesh. I mean, I don't remember those.
I know Ireland, Germany, London.
Yeah, like one day I'm gonna tune in and he's gonna be on the moon. Like this guy is he's like, forget those eckies, man. He's like this guy is always doing something pretty awesome. And whether it's the films that he's doing, and you know what, and he was on The Purge recently, the TV show.
Yeah, I'm on The Purge. Yeah, the season finale wrapped. We're not wrapped. The season finale aired. My bad, wrong words. Season finale aired about maybe a month and a half ago now at this point. And it was a good season. We had a great time. It was really cool. The last, it's 10 episodes, 10 episode miniseries. I start on episode 4. So
right, I was so glad too because I actually watched that show, so it was good to see you on there. I don't think we have had a chance to talk about it, but which is cool. So that means you're ready for the purge that's about to happen. So
mindset for a minute, man. So yeah, it's gonna be what it's gonna have to be.
Right. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So definitely check this brother out. Follow him on Instagram. Okay, so we're gonna start off with you, Dre. How can we get you in social media and all that good stuff?
All right, on social media, see if I remember this. On Instagram at Andre @Andre_D_Harrison. Twitter @Andre D Harrison, all one word. Facebook @the Andre.D.Harrison. And hit me up on Facebook and all those good. Oh, YouTube.
And one thing, people follow him on YouTube because you get to see him, his
Harrison.
wonderful family. Yeah.
So if you guys can search it, it's better for the algorithms and it makes me look better according to YouTube. If you search Harrison Family Vlogs and then click subscribe and then click the bell notification, that'll help me out too. Thank you.
And Damien, brother Andre is a big camera guy too.
Okay.
So he knows all the stuff too. So he'd be a good one to talk to about all that stuff.
Where you at, bro?
New York City.
NYC? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So what about you, Damien? How can we get you in social media and all that good stuff?
Perfect. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Damien D Smith, DAMIEN D Smith, SMITH. So Damien D Smith. That's my personal Instagram. You can also follow. Here it is, my Instagram, and also 4910 Rosalie Productions. That's our Instagram as well. That's keep you abreast of everything that we got going on with the short break. My documentary, Target St. Louis Volume 1, will be releasing soon. We actually were scheduled to have our screening in St. Louis, partnered with the History Museum on March 22nd, but we all see what happened. But it got rescheduled to June 7th in St. Louis at the History Museum in partnership with the Historical Society of Missouri and the African American Initiative that we have going on over there. So it's going to be a great screening. My documentary, Target St. Louis Volume 1, it's about post-World War II. During the Cold War era, the military conducted secret chemical testing on poor people of St. Louis. So that's the documentary. We got our feature coming up. So just follow me on IG and Facebook, and it'll keep you abreast of everything that we got going on. Because we got here over at 49, we have a lot more really interesting projects and engaging things happening. So yeah.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see it. So that's gonna be dope. Jen, how can we get you in social media and all that good stuff?
You can find me and my boring life in relative comparison on Twitter at Following Bliss One, and my websites at moviesmakethemeal.com and studiowhitewolf.com.
First of all, Jen, you live in Hawaii. You have 3 kids. I'm sure they keep you on your toes. You are a chef extraordinaire. You're a writer. So your life can't be that boring.
Well, just in comparison.
Mm-hmm. I think you have that secret life that we don't know about. Where,
Well, all we ask is trust.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do.
I can see it in your eyes, Jen. You have those.
I do, but
Mhm.
I can't really tell you about it because then it wouldn't be a secret anymore.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
but I love.
You
y'all. I mean, I love y'all. Absolutely, positively. Just absolutely love you. Just don't ask me to reveal my secrets. That's all.
All right, you can find me at Kente F on Twitter, Kente Ferguson on Instagram, and of course the website is indyradio.org. That's indyradio.org. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on twice at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. I'm going to be interviewing the owner of this platform, Alex, and he's going to talk about the future of Get Vocal. And then we're going to be at a regular time at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. Ronald Smith, who has a great platform, is going to be on there, as well as I'm sure Jen, right? You're going to join me?
Yeah.
Cool. And then we'll talk to him in the beginning, and then we'll have like kind of a free-for-all thing as well. So I'm going to be on twice tomorrow. Once earlier to talk to Alex, who is stuck in Europe. So that's why we're doing it very early. So, but he says he's fine, he's healthy, and he didn't say exactly where in Europe. So I think Germany. But so we're going to talk about Get Vocal, and he says he has a lot of good things to talk about when it comes to this platform that we're on. So, which is pretty cool. So that is tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of Stuck in Europe. What an odd phrase. Hilarious. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day. God bless you, and stay safe.